Hi. Let's go for a drive, eh? Oh, it's tight. It's real tight, guys. Oh, it's real tight. Here we go. I can do it. I have skills. I am good. We do it. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just driving away. I've never spoken to a retired person. My family love what they do, and I don't think they'll ever retire. That's not even a concept that I grew up with. Like, I didn't grow up in a world where a normal 9 to 5 was anything to strive for, and then you have retirement time. Like, that's not even in my sphere of awareness, not even a possibility for me. So I suppose I'm always going to be doing something and creating something. I think the difference is that I don't have to. I've gotten to this point at 33 that I don't have to do anything. And maybe that's the difference. That's why I can call it retirement. And I almost feel like I became 60 or 65 or 70 way too in advance, because I definitely went through the cycles of the typical retirement. I focused on music, I made a music album, and then naturally, of course, I got a camper van. And it's an overlander, and I decked it out to the max. It's as capable as it needs to be for overlanding Australia. So yeah, I did all the typical retirement things. I mean, when you do retire in the normal societal world, it's not like people die. And even more so, if they have no purpose, they have no reason to live, their lifespan goes down drastically. So the big part of what I've been learning the last couple of years is the importance of purpose. So just honing in on what the purpose might be for you individually. It doesn't have to be changing the world, doesn't have to be anything giant, but it's just something that will get you out of bed. So I think right now it's been a big deep dive for me to understand what my purpose is and why even bother creating videos anymore, why even bother creating the things that I love, because none of it really felt like it needed to even happen. Like, what's the point? But in the end, 100% you need to have something to hang on to make your life make sense for you. I started YouTube not with the idea of making money. It's a memory for me. It's a memory bank. I look back on my videos and see what I've lived and how I was at that time. I love what I do. I just realized yesterday, I really freaking love what I do. Yeah, the more I keep doing the things that I love and get paid for it, the more secure financially and I've become. But it's like, I can retire if I want. My passive income from my companies right now will suffice to keep me going, you know? I'm gonna give myself a little bit of credit here and show you the positive aspects of being retired at such an early age, because I want to encourage you if this is something that you'd like to pursue. First of all, I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and I set my own deadlines. I'm in charge of my own time, which is the greatest luxury, I think, in the world. Secondly, the financial discovery and learnings have been pretty tremendous. At the peak of my investment journey, I had 11 properties. Of course, that's changed drastically because I had a separation. I went through a separation. Also, just navigating that space was so unique. I have experienced some unbelievable things in my time. I've traveled to 60 countries, which is even crazy to say. This is kind of hectic, and apologies to the planet, apologies to my body, apologies to everybody, but last year I traveled to 30 countries. And they were not all unique countries, but 30 countries. A lot of it was Iceland, going to pack up and everything like that. It was really intense. That's why this year I'm not traveling internationally, and I haven't for months, and I needed that break, and the planet needed that break. But I travel extensively because my schedule just allows me to do kind of whatever I want, which is madness if you ask me. Anyway, there is a question of like, how on earth do I stay connected whilst I am on the road so much? And well, the solution, my friends, is Holafly. And this was funny. So Holafly came to me and they're like, hey, we would like to sponsor your video. And I was like, psych. I've been using you guys for such a long time already. So yes, this is perfect. And I'm so glad I get to share this information with you. So whether you travel a lot or you travel a little, this is the jam, because essentially Holafly offers global eSIMs with unlimited data plans for almost every country and continent. So you can forget the hassle of buying local SIM cards. With Holafly, you simply visit holafly.com, choose your destination, pick your plan, and scan a QR code. It's quick, easy, and takes just a few minutes. And you get online right after landing, so you can start using your data plan as soon as you arrive at your destination. Their app is available for iOS and Android
Android, and they offer 24/7 customer support in multiple languages. This SIM card is a game changer. There's no way I would have been able to do the work that I do without having unlimited data in some of the most remote places in the world, including Greenland. In my opinion, Holafly is absolutely the best way to get around and still stay connected and get online, do your work. So if you want to try it out for yourself, there is a 5% discount code using this, and all the links that you need are in the description as well. Let's talk about the downsides, because I want to give a balanced perspective and not just make this out to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Lots of people don't experience this kind of a life until they're much older. So there is a loneliness component to it because you don't have the same things as other people are going through. You're not really relatable anymore. People don't really want to hear about your early retirement because they kind of don't like you for it, because a lot of people don't like their jobs. When I say I bought 11 houses and that being all good and great, it also followed up with 3 years of just bookkeeping, accounting, paperwork, and then the separation came in, some more drama with that, legal stuff. So that took away from my creativity massively and put me into a pretty dark hole. Excess time, having all the time in the world to do whatever you want, sounds fun, except it's also exhausting. Because if you don't have structure, you can lose yourself in that. And this idle time ends up eating you up and makes you deteriorate more than anything. That's why purpose is so freaking important. But a lot of us are driven by what society tells us purpose is, which is making money, buying houses. When you've done that, when you've done all the material things, it's pretty crazy how intense the mind can get. There's something about me that you might not expect. My brain is definitely my worst enemy. I battle with pretty dark thoughts quite often. Depression, anxiety, racing thoughts, ADHD. The beautiful thing about having more normal setup in life and not being early retired is your active participation in the community. I think a lot of people, through their job, they end up being really an integral part of the community, whether it's selling food at a supermarket or engaging with massage and providing those services within the community. So you start creating a bond and you start being really, really important within the community. Whereas for me, having traveled so much, having moved so much, and a lot of my community being online, I actually feel very isolated yet again because I don't have an active participation in any local community because the community is my world. So it's a weird balance. Like, I'm very grateful that I get to reach so many people worldwide, but the human contact is definitely a part that is missing in my life, and at times it makes me feel not needed. So it's very important for me to now find active ways to participate in community with humans face to face, even though technically I don't have to, but for the soul, I'm definitely needing to nourish that. Also, through experiencing so much so early on, and I think this is slightly related to my YouTube career, not just early retirement. Like, I did so much that all the pleasure that I experienced, it pushed my dopamine levels and my brain's expectations of what life should be like so high that trying to match that all the time became pretty exhausting. But then when you're trying to detox yourself from that dopamine extreme pleasure levels, extreme wow factor all the time, sitting idle is so uncomfortable and it feels horrible, feels boring, it feels pointless. But it's like rewiring your brain to start enjoying the simple things, which is the 5 senses. Now I understand it's the touch of a loved one on your skin, or just the breeze blowing through your hair. It's like tasting food. It's one of the most beautiful things that we get to do in the world. Seeing light penetrating a palm leaf is just ecstasy. Listening to music, what a pleasure. And this is what it comes down to, but it takes time to rewire your brain from such high dopamine levels. Cliche as it sounds, spending your time with loved ones is so important, and it's amplified through having excess time and probably thinking about death too much in my instance. Because I feel like I've just jumped timelines and I should be like 60 or 70, but I'm in this young body, and then you start analyzing what actually matters in life, and it is those experiences. So I don't have to be on my deathbed, thankfully, to realize like, this is what I wish I did. I can have those thoughts now and act upon them. So yeah, spending time with loved ones and laughing with people. It's all about people. I gotta tell you, it's magic. Learning from one another, engaging with one another, disagreeing with one another, fighting, finding the pleasure in the pain as well, because we are full spectrum, like enjoying the whole thing, not just the good, because that's not what it's about. Like, being human is the suffering and the pain that you have, and like what lessons you're going to come out of that, how you're going to change as a result of that. juicy. All in all, have I enjoyed my 2 years of retirement? I'm gonna say I'm just grateful. I don't think it's enjoyment, because I wouldn't describe my last 2 years as enjoyment as such. It's been great growth and lessons and a level up, and I'm just so thankful that I had the resources behind me in order to take the time away that I needed to refresh myself and learn and to start finding purpose again. And I'm excited for the amount of growth now that I'm doing in order to understand my purpose, so I can really truly deliver something to the world that is going to be really, really important, because I don't really see myself playing small. I don't really see myself doing tiny things, and I just need to expand. My natural urge to expand and grow and to do something huge is pretty overwhelming, so I'm excited to continue tapping into that. But yes, I have definitely been very, very, very grateful for having the downtime so I could get through a bit of a shit show. I think the purpose of this video was to provide a balanced perspective, to make you not hate your own life, because that's never my intention. Is I don't want you to just be jealous. I want you to reflect on what is important to you, simply. And then maybe it is exactly as you are. Maybe you do like your life, and don't kid yourself that you should have something else that some chick on the internet has. My struggles have been so lame the last 3 years, the instability, the chaos. I don't really wish that upon anyone, but that's just my journey. I read a DM yesterday and it said, I had no idea that early retirement was even available to me. You've just opened my eyes to that. And I think that's my purpose here. It's like, okay, I have this privilege, so let me share with people what I'm just going through, just my life. And that might be enough to spark someone's life to change into a direction that they love. I think that's just, I'm a catalyst, I think, honestly. However, next video, I'm also going to make about how to retire early and give like a breakdown of more what this actually looks like. So if you're interested in this journey, I'll provide some feedback on that. So make sure you stick around for that and subscribe and tune in. I'll see you guys in the next one.